Good day, everyone. I'm Clary A. Garcia, a student on Asia Pacific College, Makati, Philippines. This video contains for information and study purposes only and going to introduce you about the biomechanics of the feline writing reflex, or how should I say, how do felines land on their feet. So later on, we will have a test to prove if it's true that how do cats land on their feet. For now, our volunteer to our test, ta-da! His name is Charcoal, male cat, our 5-year-old Puspin black cat. The contents of this test first is the trigger vestibular and visual sensing. Second, the mechanics, the bend and twist action. And third is the structural enablers, and the last one is the landing impact dissipation. The feline writing reflex is a marvel biological engineering. For decades, physicists and biophysicists were puzzled by how a falling cat could flip it over and without pushing off a solid surface. According to Newton's law, the cat's totally angular momentum must remain zero throughout the fall if no external torque is applied. So the cat solves this paradox through an incredible dynamic mechanical strategy called the bend and twist or tuck and turn model. So in first, the trigger, vestibular and visual sensing. When the moment a fall begins, the cat's internal orientation system fire. So here there's the vestibular system, which the fluid filled canals in the inner ear instantly detect acceleration and identify which way is up relative to the gravity. So the cat is sensing if he or she is going to fall to the ground near them. So the second is visual input. The eyes confirm their orientation within just 50 to 100 milliseconds. So the brain process of these cats inputs and initiates a rapid, highly coordinate muscular sequence. Like their sense is very fast. I'm going to show you the test where our volunteer is going to land on their feet. So in second, the mechanics or the bend and twist action. The cat does not rotate its entire body as a single rigid unit. Instead, it acts like two independent cylinders connected by a flexible hinge, its highly specialized spine. The biochemical mechanical sequence relies heavily on manipulating the moment of inertia, which is an object's resistance to rotational motion, which changes depending on how its mass is distributed around its axis. So here's the cat's spinal flexion or the bend, which phase 1 is the cat arches and bends its back sharply at the waist, dividing its body into a front half and back half. This bends allows two halves to rotate on different axes, preventing their movement from canceling each other out. Second is asymmetric limb extension, which is the phase 2, to rotate the front half of its body quickly. The cat tucks its front paws in close to its chest and extended its back leg out wide. So tucking the front legs minimize the front half's moment of inertia, while extending the rear legs maximize the rear half's moments of inertia. The third phase is front half rotation. The cat twists its shoulders and front torso roughly 180 degrees to face downwards. Because the front half has a tiny moment of inertia, it rotates rapidly with very little effort. The rear half twists slightly in the position direction, but because its extended legs give it a massive moment of inertia. This counter rotation is minimal. On the last phase, which is the fourth, rear half rotation, once the front half is aligned with the ground, the cat reverses the limb configuration. It extends its front legs and tucks its back legs inward. Now, the rear half has a low moment of inertia and can twist easily into alignment, while the extended front legs anchor the front half from counter-rotating. During the during this whole process, the tail can act as a minor counterweight of gyroscope, but the core mechanics are driven entirely by the spine and the limbs of this cat. So the third one is the structural enablers. This complex movement is only possible because of the unique anatomical adaptation built into the feline skeletal and muscular system, which contains the floating clavicle. Unlike humans, cats do not have a functional collarbone securely attached to their skeletons. Their shoulders are anchored entirely by muscles and ligament, giving the front torso an extraordinary loose range of motion. Second is highly flexible vertebrae. So cats' spines contain 30 vertebrae, including the tail, with incredibly elastic cushioning discs between them. This allows for deep spinal flexion, torsion, and three-dimensional bending that most other mammals cannot replicate. So lastly, in the landing impact dissipation, once the cat is oriented feet first, it prepares for the ground collision and it arches its back upward into a prominent curve, acting like a giant leaf spring. Upon the impact, the cat's joints contain shoulders, elbows, hips, and knees is flexed deeply. This movement converts to kinetic energy of the fall into muscular work and deforms the soft tissues drastically, lengthening the deceleration time and minimizing the peak impact forces traveling through the bones. In the end of this video, the feline writing reflex stands as one of the nature's most elegant demonstration of mid-air conservation of angular momentum. Through a tightly choreographed combination of vestibular precisions, rapid muscle activation, and extreme skeletal flexibility, a cat managed to alter its orientation without an external pivot joint. By systematically changing its moment of inertia through the bend and twist method, the feline body essentially acts as its own counterweight. Ultimately, this reflex is more than just a survival mechanism of the cat. It is a flawless integration of anatomy and physics, showing how specialized evolution can bypass seemingly rigid mechanical limitations. Understanding this incredible biological marvel serves as a power reminder of our responsibility towards animals, because creatures like cats are any cats are felines, complex and vulnerability to injury despite their natural agility. They should always be handled gently, treated with kindness, and cared for responsibly to ensure they are never put in harm's way. Thank you for volunteering, Mr. Charcoal, and thank you for watching this video. Bye bye.